Okay, so today we're going to walk through a case study for, once again, Charlie and Lucy Brown. In today's scenario, it's based off of a couple that I recently met with that have about a little over $2.4 million in investable assets. He's a little bit older and already retired, and Lucy is not retired yet, but what she wants to know is she can retire tomorrow and they continue having the same lifestyle that they've had. So let's jump in. Okay, so as you can see on the screen here, we have Charlie and Lucy Brown, and they have a net worth of just under $3 million. They have a $500,000 house that is paid for, a joint brokerage account with a decent amount, and they both have similar pre-tax accounts. Lucy's a little bit higher. She got about $950,000, and Charlie has about $850,000, and he's got a little bit more in his Roth. Okay, next we want to take a quick look at their goals. So what they're spending right now is about $9,000 per month, and that's for living expenses. So we also have to take into account healthcare, right? Because they're going to have to pay for healthcare, whether it's getting coverage up to 65 for Lucy to get Medicare, or Charlie, who's already 65, he's already on Medicare. What we do want to look at here is that they're going to have about $4,000 of expenditures above and beyond what they're actually paying for their insurance, right? And that's pretty much standard for this time of life. And in 2024, about $4,000 per year in health expenses above and beyond what the insurance costs are. Okay, next we have Social Security. And Charlie's Social Security, he has already filed. He filed for it last year, and he's getting about $2,500 per month. So that is already taken care of. We don't have to worry about that in the future because he's already taking it. And Lucy, what we're going to do, we're going to propose pushing hers out till age 70 to get the highest, most beneficial amount. She's got to be about $3,500 at full retirement age. So if she pushes that out to age 70, it's going to be a little bit higher then because she's going to get the 8% per year that she can wait. And then, of course, if the market should go down or something in the meantime quite a bit, we always have that in our back pocket that we can flip it on whatever we that's the key thing that we want, right? We always want to have options. This screen here shows us inflows and outflows, and it's not obviously a very important screen for tax planning because it has a ton of information right here, and we can drill down into it more if we need to. But there's a couple things that I can tell just by looking at this, and you guys will probably notice it too. If you look at income inflows here, this is just the Social Security, right? And we did this as if Lucy were already retired. Like, let's say she retired today or tomorrow, but she is not going to have her income moving forward anymore, right? So we have just Charlie's Social Security now. It's about a little over $24,000 per year. And then we have their expenses are about $126 because we have their living expenses, which are about $108, and their healthcare, all total and combined, is about $18,000 per year. Now, what does that mean? So that means that we're going to be taking $102,752 out of their nest egg to make sure that they have enough money to meet their expenses for that year, right? Now, another thing, if you look right here, look at their tax payments, right? Very low for the next 4 or 5 years, right? And then it kicks up here because they're going to start drawing from their tax-deferred accounts for expenditures, right? As you can see here, this net flows here is how much they're pulling from their nest egg to live off of before, and then as you see here too, it drops back down. Now, why is that? Well, Lucy's Social Security kicks in at 70, right? So they don't need as much from their nest egg. But back to this right here, these low tax payment years, well, we're going to go ahead and say, hey, well, where's the opportunity there? We have opportunity for Roth conversions, right? Because when do we want to pay taxes? We want to pay taxes when they're the cheapest. And right now, tax rates are historically low. So we want to take advantage of filling up those lower brackets with Roth conversions and getting that money out of their tax-deferred accounts. Because if we go over here, we look at their dashboard, we see their total allocation of their accounts, right? They have $350,000 in a joint brokerage account, that's taxable. And then they have almost $2 million in tax-deferred assets. Well, what does that mean? That tells me immediately that they are going to have almost $2 million of ordinary income at some point in their future, right? They've got that silent partner in Uncle Sam. We need to start chipping away at that in their gap years between retirement and RMD age so that they can take advantage of filling up those lower brackets, right? And mitigating a tax tsunami or a tax bomb or whatever you want to call it down the road. So we want to try to get as much of this tax-deferred money into Roth in the most efficient manner possible in the gap years. Instantly too, when I see this, somebody like this, I know that we can do good tax planning for them, assuming that they're, not at RMD age yet, which even if they are, there's still stuff we can do. It's just, it changes, right? Because we cannot convert that into a Roth. All right, now this screen here is showing their withdrawal rate. And what does that mean? Well, basically it's saying, okay, well, how much of the nest egg are we going to have to pull out each year to make sure that we're getting, up to whatever their amount they need to spend, at around $120,000 a year. And then obviously it's inflation adjusted after that. But as you can see here, we like to keep this, for the most part, 6% or under if we can, certainly as an average over time. And you can see here they're at 3.9 goes up to 4. And then it drops back down whenever Lucy's Social Security kicks in, all the way back down to 2, and then it kicks up here, but it's right around that 4% rate the whole time. So these guys are in really good shape. Now here we're looking at Charlie and Lucy out to age 90, right? And what this is saying is if they do everything they're doing, spending what they want to spend, and we have about a 7% return over that time frame out to age 90, and she's, remember, Lucy is 60 and Charlie is 65. So if we look out to his age 95 and her age 90, then we're saying, if they do everything the way that they're planning, they're going to have a little over $7 million at that age. Well, is that the goal? No, the goal is to live, right? So let's do a little hypothetical down here. Let's say, what if they say, hey, Tim, you know what? This is great to see, but you know what? Maybe we want to try to spend another couple thousand a year, or a couple thousand a month, I'm sorry. So let's raise that up to 11,000. Okay, well, now they're still in pretty good shape, right? It's saying, hey, you're going to have $3.5 million less at the end of your plan, but you're still going to have almost $4 million, and you've been able to spend an extra $24,000 a year, right? Now, let's say also they retire, like, hey, Tim, we want to travel, but, maybe probably for just the first 10 years. Okay, how much do you think you spent? Well, they said they thought they'd probably spend around $10,000, give or take. We know they can spend more, right? Because we've already added $11,000. We've added $2,000 a month to what they're going to spend in just retirement monthly expenses. So now let's say that we're going to say, okay, well, we're also going to travel, and they're going to spend $10,000 a year in travel on top of the extra $2,000 a month. What's that going to do? Well, it's going to drop about another $1 million, but they're still going to have almost $3 million at the end of their plan. All right, one more thing, and before I wrap it up, I want to go back to the tax planning. What's typical in retirement is that taxes are your largest expense, right? Sometimes it's medical, but of course we would rather it be taxes, right? Because that means that we're not spending a ton of time in a home or, unfortunately, or God forbid, in a hospital, right? Or something like that. Now, what we can do is, as I mentioned before, is we want to look at Roth conversions, right? Now, if we do all of our tax planning and we do it properly, and we do Roth conversions, we make sure that we are investing the proper assets in the proper location or asset allocation, and withdrawing from the proper account at the proper time. Well, over time, at the end of their plan, that's going to allow them to have almost $2 million more in tax-adjusted ending assets, right? So you want to pay attention to the tax drag, or if you're sitting on a tax bump, because what's going to happen? If you're doing nothing, this is what's going to happen. And as you climb up this hill here, not only are you going to be paying a higher tax rate than you needed to, but you're going to have to pay higher parts B and D premium on your Medicare, right? IRMAA, your income-related monthly adjustment amount, because your Medicare expenses are based off of your income, right? So that's another reason why we want to try to fill up the lower income tax years and the gap years, is to keep that from getting your RMDs getting too high later on, and also making your Medicare costs go up as well, right? That's why we call it a tax. So this is all just to reiterate, tax planning is very important, certainly in retirement, because your tax rate in retirement is going to be determined more by where your income comes from, or your cash flow that you're using for expenditures, than your actual income itself, like your Social Security. The bottom line is that yes, Lucy can retire tomorrow, and her and Charlie can continue to live the same lifestyle they have been, and still have a little extra at the end if they want to, or they can go ahead and start spending now. Because of course, once they walk out the door, we're going to start adjusting stuff, right? But these guys are in great shape. She can retire tomorrow and start having a great retirement. So thanks. I hope this makes sense. If you want to see how we do this, feel free to reach out, and we'd have to run through some numbers for you. Once again, Tim Dorman here, founder of Eagle Ridge Wealth Advisors. And if you would like to see how we help our clients get the most out of their financial lives in retirement, please visit us at erwealth.com, and we hope to see you there.